Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Royal Bangalore Food, and this is your host Paul. Today we're going to cook that Mallu that has come back to the God's own country, and we're going to make a barracuda, or so-called in Malayalam Sheelav Meen curry. Very simple recipe. Me and my wife only, no guests coming in. So this is for the Saturday special for the lunch. Along with, we have bought what we call it as the pink perch. This is an English terminology for the fish. In Malayalam we call it as puyapla, or in Kannada we call it as sankranti fish. There are many contexts to this fantastic fish. Stick on for the fish curry and also fish fry. We're going to do a mattanjeri rice, or so-called the red fiber rice, fibrous rice. Just basically a boiled rice to give you context. Stick on, let's dive in. Just look at the entire recipe quickly. I'm going to cover it out. Let's dive in. Okay, this is the pink, what we call it as the barracuda. It's about 650 grams. We're going to add half a teaspoon of red chili powder. This is for the marination, okay, before it goes into the curry. Fresh turmeric powder. And then our favorite, the salt. It's supposed to be a rock salt. It's okay. You can add table salt as well. That's about it. Just give it a good mix, and then this will go for a marination at least for half an hour. Marinated. This is going inside the fridge. Very simple. It has to get marinated well. Okay, in goes there. That's about it. Here comes my favorite. This is the pink perch. Okay, we're going to fry this. Just a 3 simple marination. We're going to quickly run you through. This is going to be the so-called the Northern style, or what we call it as the country, God's own country style. Pink perch. Just look at it. Completely not that fresh. Okay, I'll give you a small update on what is called the fresh fish. Alright, the first step. In goes red chili powder, 1 tablespoon. In goes half teaspoon of coriander powder, our God's own favorite, the black pepper, 1 teaspoon. Little bit of turmeric powder, freshly grounded all the way from Kerala again. And the beauty of all we're going to add is the vinegar. Supposed to use the coconut vinegar, but in this case we're going to add 2 tablespoons of vinegar. 1 and 2. Okay, and in goes also, we're going to add a little bit of coconut oil. In goes the coconut oil. This is the flavor for the fish. Ideally, the oil, what does it do? It just amalgamates the masalas powder, the spice powder, and also give you texture to the meat. And you just give it a mix. In case if you see it is a little bit dry, you again add a little bit of vinegar or oil, not water. You never add water, because since it's meat, it always, the fish and any meat will leave out water. So instead of that, don't add water to the marination. Add, see, just a little bit perfectly for the fish. This is good enough. Just 1 vinegar, probably another drop of oil should do. And at last, in goes the iodine salt. The salt is actually the ideal thing that you need to know. Okay. Because without salt, nothing tastes good. Give a good mix, and in goes along with the fish. Alright, folks, now we're going to marinate along with the fish. Make sure that when you scored that fish, what do you call it as scoring, or so-called the cuts, what we give, the marination had to penetrate inside that, okay? We would give it roundabout close to 1 hour of marination, okay? The idea of marination is not to give only the taste factor. It's also a food science which is getting involved in any kind of meat, because meat ideally would soak in, because there is water, there is moisture inside the meat. The protein will actually soak whichever has been marinated on top of the skin or top of the meat. That's the only idea. Since this is our top priority of fish masala, what you're going to do, fish fry, this is the ideal that you can ever go ahead and do this. On top of this, if you want to add any more spices, I would not suggest you, just keep it as plain as possible. But if you have different types of frying, we call it as polichide. We go, this is just going to be on a tawa fry. That's about it. We're not going to deep fry. We're going to shallow fry it. There are many fish that you can deep fry it. For example, we have the black pearl, what we call it as curry mean. Then you have kingfish, what we call it as naming. We have the black pomfret, we have avoli similarly. So there are many things that you can deep fry it, or probably just shallow fry it, and also you can also do it poaching, what we call it as. We can just poach it using banana leaf. There are many methods. So this is one of the simplest methods, since it's going to be a one pot kind of cooking. So marinate it lovely, and then leave it for marination for an hour or so. Ideally for an hour, but half an hour should be good enough. Many people don't realize how important marination is all about. Alright, done well. In goes to for marination. Alright folks, another thing. In goes the fish marination for the fish fry. In goes inside the fridge. Alright, as I was saying, what is freshness in Indian context? First of all, many folks, especially if you're in a Bangalore, or if you're middle part of the country like Bombay, or not Bombay I would say, Madhya Pradesh, or any middle central part not associated with the sea coastal line. Many people have this contest saying, we get fresh fish, we get the fresh meat. Fresh meat and the fresh fish doesn't necessarily mean that you have to see the blood dripping from the carcass, what we call it as, from the dead meat, okay? So when it comes to the context of the fish, just understand the fisherman goes to an extreme dead in the middle of the sea, be it Arabian Sea, be it the Bay of Bengal, or be it in the Indian Ocean, wherever you get a very good fish, right? So these fishes are being fished at the time, probably in the middle of the night. Sometimes if it is prawns, it's early in the morning. There are many fishes comes in various types. If it is sardine, or if it is mackerel, or even for the barracuda. Barracuda is one of the most fastest fish, right? So it swims as fast as possible, right? So similarly, many fishes have different time zones. So the fisherman intakes the boat, goes deep down the sea. It takes minimum for them to 2-3 hours to reach. Then they cook, and they get prepped up very well. They lay the nets, they lay their entire the fishing nets, and then they catch crabs. They catch many varieties of sea, including the fishes, and they would segregate it. They would actually stay back overnight. Okay, so already one day is passed. The second day they would fish again, provided they would have got a call, since they connected with the mobile phone. They would have connected and saying, hey, you know what, there is a demand for certain fishes, so please go even more deeper to understand where to get it. So fishermen ideally would know where to go ahead and source based on the compass that they have, and based on the information that they get across the other fishermen and other fisher boats, right? And once they get in, it's already 2-3 days past. By the time they come into the seashore, initially there would be three things which is happening. One is that the fisherman who is handling it, the middleman, will do an auction. In the auction, you will be able to understand what is today's pricing of the market, because there is no, mind you, there is no any online segments for fisheries. Okay, we have it for vegetable, we have it for chicken, we have it for mutton, we have it for other cattle meats, but nothing for fish. So it's end of the day, it's all about that middleman who takes that call. With that call, they would go ahead and understand to tell you today's pricing and so on. So if it is A, B pre-pricing, the so-called the buyers go ahead and buys it. And what are those buyers? Buyers are the ones who actually comes to people from if you're fishing in Kerala, there are many. Obviously the entire coastal belt of Kerala is fantastic. Mangalore, certain fishes you get certain places. For example, I'm a huge fan of Bombay duck. I mean, there's a huge lovely story about Bombay duck I will tell you about sometime later. Okay, but Bombay duck only found in that part of the belt above Karwar, not even Goa. It's only in that belt of very close to the Bombay belt, which also gets it in Oman as well. Oman has this beautiful hamur fish, right, which you don't get it in the Indian context. Similarly, you don't get in the Bay of Bengal, you never get Bombay duck at all. So in Bombay duck, you have a lot of the, what do you call it as, the freshwater fish, what we call it as, the elish. There are many fantastic fishes yet to be eaten. The Indian salmon, very nice, fleshy, buttery taste, similar to North Atlantic salmon. But the Indian salmon context is good enough for the Indian taste bud. So ideally, nothing is fresh. It's almost 3 days dead old fish, or probably it's been consumed, or in this case, it's been put in a chemical compound, fished it to the sea, and then from the sea coastal area to the city, it will take another day. And by the time it comes, it's already 5 days old fishes. So nothing comes fresh, mind you. Common sense. I'll talk about some other day for the meat. So that's a quick tip for you guys. Nothing comes fresh. It's just that people stock it in the fridge, and so as quickly as bought. I mean, if you have a trusted fish seller or a buyer who could actually selling a very good fish, pick it up. You will know based on the dilated, how fresh is the fish, how well they've used it, how well they've preserved it to carry it from the sea to the sea coast and to the city as well. That determines saying that how freshness the fish can survive without any
foul smell or a fishy smell. And many Indian contexts don't even understand what is fishy smell. The extreme fishy smell is actually spoilage. A very good fish will never smell at all, mind you, a very good sea fish. I wouldn't say about the cultured fish the similar story in terms of rahu, katla or a prawns these days. Many things are cultured, so-called homegrown or a lab grown. But ideally the sea fish is fantastic. Absolutely no smell. Only when it's 5 days old, 6 days old, you will see a deterioration of foul smell. Great tip. Keep that in mind. Nothing comes fresh. Cheers.
Alright folks, now in comes the fish curry, or so-called the mean curry. We have used shallots, okay, and we used ginger. This we're going to do a coarse grind. Obviously you need curry leaf and some green chili, and obviously one tomato for the tanginess, and also we're going to add the Kerala, what we call it as the kokum, or so-called the tamarind, which is specifically used, and obviously our favorite, the coconut milk. Nothing better. There are two types of coconut milk. This is the thicker one, and this is the loose one. What do you call it as the first milk, the second milk. The first milk is always the little bit the thicker in consistency. So in goes all this for the chopping and for coursing. Let's catch up on the other side. If you're in the coastal belt, you cannot miss this tamarind. Okay, this is called the kokum. It's already aromatic once you remove this from the vessel. So you need to know this. Coastal belt, starting from Gujarat till Kanyakumari, you get this. One of our favorite tamarind, especially for the mean curry, okay, so-called the fish curry. If you don't get it, you can always use a normal tamarind with a seed. Folks, this is what we call the chatti, the earthen pot made up of clay, red clay. We use always for the cooking, especially if it is fish curry, if it is red meat or any good pork, or if it is a Narden, what we call it as from the God-owned country style, the country style of cooking. What we're going to quickly run through is that we're going to add coconut oil, obviously, coconut milk, coconut oil, all to the delicacy of the fish curry. In goes coconut oil, in goes coconut oil, in goes fenugreek seed. You know why it's called fenugreek seed? For another day discussion. If you know, anybody knows why it's called fenugreek, why Greek country is always being mentioned out here, so let me know. In goes curry leaves and green chili. In goes the shallots and green chili along with it, and also ginger and shallot. Remember I spoke about it? Just give it a mix, give it a saute. What an aromatic flavor of coconut oil, my dear folks. Oh my dears, ladies and gentlemen, just look at that aroma, is already coming out. Fantastic. Folks, make sure that the onions and everything gets shallowed and sauteed very well, okay? The idea is that slow cooking, earthen pot, the flavor, everything should get mixed up in that, okay? Otherwise it's no use. Many folks do not saute it as important as possible. One of the greatest step is to the greatest taste, what do you call it, no, to develop a taste factor, making sure that all the raw smell or the raw ingredient has to get sauteed in a very good oil. Oil can be, not more or not less, making sure that the amounts of the ounces or so-called the grams of oil is very important. In goes the kokum. You're going to add kokum now. What do you call the Indian tamarind? And this is kodumbuli, what we call it as in God's own country, my dear folks. Correction from my wife. Okay, look at this. Just the masala has been absolutely fried. In goes the masalas, what the spices that we added. And give it a mix just for a minute or two. The masala has been sauteed very well. Look at the color from the Kashmiri red chili, the degi mirch in the context. In goes tomatoes. This for the tanginess. In spite of adding tamarind, part of our cooking, what we do is also adding a little bit of coarse grinded, the one tomato, or so called the country tomato, not the hybrid one, the country tomato, to give the tanginess. Okay, and just give it a mix, quick mix. Just adding a little bit of salt, folks. Oh, wish I could really transport you this aroma. Oh my goodness gracious, what a flavor. Without adding the fish curry has already been done. Just look at the color context. Any gravy can come close to this without doing anything, without any magic. That's about it. simmering away. Alright folks, next step. This is the God's own country. You cannot miss this if you're in Kerala. In goes coconut milk, the second skimmed milk, okay, which is a little bit loose. The texture of the milk is a little bit better and salter. I mean, as in, there's no much of coconut meat in it. Once this is coming to boil, then in goes the fish. Let's give it a mix, let it leave it to a boil. Again, just a minute or two, and it should be done. Yes folks, we're just going to open the lid, see how it's simmered well. Yes, complete a good boil. See, since it's earthen pot, right, the tip here is that it's evenly cooked all over. So just give it a mix a little bit, and then in goes the fish. Ippo namakku fish add akava. Idu vandu nangalde Sheelavu fish. Basically, it's called Sheela. Okay, it's called basically a barracuda in English. Okay, in goes the marinated fish. Ooh, that's nice. That's lovely. Quite a lot of fish. The flavor of the fish is always better. So we got it for 600 grams. Now this is after all cleaning, it's around close to 650. Yeah, 650 what we got it as. Now it must be around 600 or less than probably 600. Okay, that's about it. Let's leave it to the boil. Everything is added. We check the salt. Now we leave it to the boil. It's very slow simmer. Very slow simmer. Okay, not the high flame. Very slow simmer, and then we're gonna add the coconut milk later. Don't mix using. We just need to give it a good mix. There you go. That's about it. And otherwise, what happens is that the fish would eventually just crumble away. Clear. Alright, the next step, test. That's about it. Yes, taste, let me know what happened. All well. Alright, thumbs up from my wife. The secret to all this meen curry is also about this. We will add the fresh curry leaves later, and also in goes some fresh coconut oil. Basically a virgin coconut oil later. So just look at this, okay? This is the greatest tip that for the cooking on the earthen pot. What happens is that since it's earthen pot, the heat is completely all over, spread all over, and the gas is off, right? So that's why we want to add a little bit, another 2 minutes to simmer down so that we can add the second coconut milk, so-called the thick coconut milk. In goes cabbage thoran, what we call it as the cabbage poriyal or cabbage fry, stir fry. We've added coconut and also a little bit of shallots, coconut, and some cabbage, and one green chili. That's about it. In goes the coconut milk, the second coconut milk, the thicker coconut milk. Just give it a stir a little bit. Check the salt again. Yeah, as required. Just add salt according to taste, and in goes coconut oil as well. Alright, this is the tempering goes in for the fish curry. This is the Northern style. So coconut oil we've added. In goes shallot. Wow. And curry leaves. Give it a mix. Ooh, what an aroma. Aromatic it is. Wow. Nicely golden brown. The tempering is done. Just add it to the fish curry. The shallot is simmering away, a little bit of golden brown, and to the fish curry right away. Here's the fish curry, just sobered down, and in goes the tadka with the coconut oil. Oh, what a color, man, what a color. Amazing orange, bright as red, as the brightest as sun. Okay, just give it a mix. One second. And that's about, ladies and gentlemen. There goes the God's own country, the fish curry, meen curry, what we call it as. The Sheelav barracuda fish fry. Fish curry. What a color. Amazing. This is for the cabbage stir fry, as cabbage thoran, what we call it as. We've added a little bit of coconut oil. In goes mustard seeds as well. Mustard seeds spluttering away. In goes curry leaves. and just give it a saute mix, and then add the onions and shallots together along with green chili. In goes onion, folks. The next on the cards, folks, is going to be the fish fry, adding a lot of coconut oil. Folks, this is post marination. Just look at it. The fish, the protein is completely soaked up the masala. You could see that it's simmering away with this amazing, right? Look at the color context. Wow. And in goes here in the tawa. Coconut oil is getting heated up, and you just add here one piece. And you could see the flames coming on the tawa, and in goes the fish. And just wait for the sound. There you go. Wow, wow. Lovely, 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 lovely. Simmering away. On the cast iron tawa. In goes salt for the cabbage, toran. See, since you're visiting a God's own country and that Mallu dad cooks, even though my wife is helping it out, in goes a little bit of turmeric. The context here is that, cooking together makes more sense. In goes cabbage, folks. Give it a mix. After the mix, just put it a little bit, close the lid, leave it to cook for exactly 5 minutes. Alright, my ladies and gentlemen, my dear boys and girls from the God's own country, from all over the world, a speciality of Kerala cuisine. You cannot miss this. This is the tapioca, what we call it as Kappa. Best goes with the mean curry. We have just little bit boiled it, since it's the what do you call the cassava. Yeah. For the Africans it's called cassava. So this along with the fish curry is the ultimate combo you can ever ask for. Obviously the fish fry is also making a lot of noises. We're going to flip it up very soon. Until then, this is a quick recipe. We're going to show you and do a taste test. Alright folks, in goes the freshly grated coconut for the cabbage toran. Without coconut, nothing happens in the God's own country. And that gives me a shout out very soon for my company as well. Please watch out this space. Subscribe, follow, and as much as possible share it. This is the authentic as it gets from the Narden, the so-called the God's own country cuisine. Fish curry, cabbage toran, kappa there, and then obviously the fish fry. The magic of flipping the fish fry, the other side of the story. There you go. Wow. Another one. You have to make sure that it's well done, okay? There you go, folks. If required, you can add oil, but otherwise, since we've added enough of oil, it's good enough. Another 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the other side. Alright, folks. This is tapioca. We have added coconut, shallots, green chili, and a little bit of zira, cumin seeds. This is for the, not for the tempering. Mix it along with it. The flame is on a very slow level. Then once you give it a mix, and then we'll do a tempering for this. Alright folks, here goes the tapioca. Just give it a good mix, making sure that the coconut is cooked, the green chili sauteed well, along with this, and also the cumin seeds thickened. Anyways, the tapioca will leave out a starch, and that starch itself will cook, and in goes the tempering later. And wait for the taste test. Started to splutter right away. One final dish, so-called the kappa fry. And the curry leaves, lovely onion. Anyway, shallots have gone inside, little bit of onions. Give it a fry, give it a saute. Quickly as the flame goes up. Oof, what a smell, what a aroma, what a fragrance, I would say. Right folks, fish switched off, done, well done. In goes a little bit of curry leaves, just for the flavor before we serve. In goes the red chili. Yes, that's a color context. The green curry leaves, the red chili color, and that's for the cassava here for the tapioca. Folks, this is a must try, okay? It's a must try. Onions is almost done. Add a little bit, just a pinch of turmeric. That's about it, just a pinch. There you go. Just give it a mix, nice mix. Alright folks, in goes the tempering. In goes the tempering for the cassava. Yeah. Whew. Give it a good mix. Checks for salt. There you go. This is a must try, folks. Trust me, there's nothing better than a starch and high carbs, high calories. One time is always better. Obviously, you're going to eat a little bit of portion size only. Now, want to consume this wholeheartedly. You can if you're a great food eater like me. All right, in goes for the taste test. That's about it. Well done. Alright folks, first thing first, the rice, the red rice. In comes the Kappa. Wow. Hey. That's lovely. Okay, next on plate, we're going to add the fish curry. Okay, add a little bit of cabbage on the side. There you go. Cabbage on the side. A little bit of achar. This is a mango pickle, okay? I always fancy mango pickle, but then any other pickle. And obviously one papadam. One papadam. Yes. Then comes the fish curry. Yay! The context of the fish curry is very important, okay? Just look at the color context. It'll just dynamically change the moment you add a little bit to the kappa also. There you go. There you go. Just a little bit more on the kappa. Absolutely. There you go, folks. Oof, what an aroma. That's about it. This is going inside the tummy. Quickly, the tapioca, fish curry, a little bit of mango pickle, a little bit of cabbage, amazing papadam, and who can forget the fish fry. Hey, ooh, the whole fish fry. The pink perch has gone completely, sautéed with coconut oil. The masala has been cooked. Well done. Let's do the taste test. Alright folks, what else you need when you do a Saturday fantastic God's own country lunch? This is going to be the amazing cuisine that you need to follow. You might find a lot of videos, but this is utmost love, utmost presence, finest ingredients, and cooked with so sacrosanct, so holy, so blessed. Bon appetit wherever you are if you're watching. This is Paul and you're watching Royal Bangalore Food. Taste test. First goes the cassava and the tapioca along with the fish curry. Oh God, man. Wow. That's the pat. My wife done well under the guidance of my mom and her mom as well. Wow. Never ever you guys should miss. High calorie, high protein, highest carbs, but nothing with beef, fish curry and tapioca anytime. A little bit of papad along with it. A little bit smushy. Great texture. Rightly spiced. Just cannot take your palate away. I mean, wherever you are, if you're really doing something great, want to enjoy your palate, God's own country. I mean, lot of facts to give away here. It's going to take a long video. Kerala has the highest number of breakfasts, healthy breakfasts. Just to name a few: puttu, idiyappam, vettayappam, idli, dosa. Most of them are baked, or most of them are steamed. Apart from that, varieties of non-veg, varieties of veg curry.
Puttu Kadla is famous. Okay. Quickly for the rice. The red rice gives you the actual taste of Kerala, you know, it takes you all over. Oh. What else can you ask for a fish curry with a coconut milk, coconut oil, shallots? Folks, you are missing something great if you do not try this food. If you're a foodie, if you're a food eater, if you love a food, if you're living to eat or eat to live, whatever it is, my belonging is that come to Kerala, visit God's own country, subscribe to my channel. We'll be going a lot of Kerala food and also talk about healthy discussions, some facts, some knowledge, some wisdom, some clarity, some character, some experiences, some business, some creative talks, some kind of entertainment. I mean, I hope you're watching my videos for MC and all of stuff. Here goes the cabbage along with it. Cheers, bon appetit again. Just put it to dose the amount of carbs. In goes the fish fry. Yeah. Wow. Wow. The pink perch has its own flavor. It's a sea fish. Very subtle, very flaky, rightly spiced. Just want to kudos my wife. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Stay tuned. This is Paul signing off. Take it. Cheers and bye bye.